Good evening and welcome to Coffee on the Coast. Good evening. Welcome to Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host this evening, Tina Prigge. I'm really excited to be joined by a first-time guest. It is award-winning jazz vocalist ERIN KREBS. Welcome to Coffee on the Coast, ERIN.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I'm so excited because, well, first of all, I got to see you perform when you were performing at Pet Skull Brewing recently, which was awesome. You just blew me away. And as soon as I found out that the community at large would have another opportunity to see you, we decided we had to do this Coffee on the Coast to tell them more about it. So let's tell them you are going to be performing tomorrow night with the Lakeshore Big Band, Great Ladies of Song. And when we say tomorrow, we're talking Friday, March 31st on the Capitol Civic Center stage. ERIN, what do you want people to know about this show?
Well, it's tomorrow, Friday, March 31st, at the Capitol Civic Center in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, first of all, which you said. But I will be singing as a singer. It's a big couple of sets. I realized that last night when I was doing the rehearsal, I was like, whoa, okay. Here we go. um, it's a lot of great music. We're covering songs that Ella Fitzgerald made famous. Those of you who have heard me before know that Ella Fitzgerald's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So we're doing some Ella Fitzgerald songs. There's some Peggy Lee in there. A Peggy Lee number opens the show, actually. It's a song she wrote called I Love Being Here with You. I thought that's a great number to open with.
Yeah.
Yes, and then some Rosemary Clooney arrangements in there, Nancy Wilson, Natalie Cole. So all those great jazz singers. And then we kind of get a little more soulful with some things and in the second set. And we go into some Etta James, who is, blues and jazz singer. I mean, Etta James would sing jazz standards very bluesy, I guess you could say. And so we'll do it in some Etta James, and then we're doing a Son of a Preacher Man. We got a cool arrangement of that one. Some Aretha Franklin. Some blues. We have a special guest coming up
Who's
as
that?
well. Well, it's none
Is it a
other than my
surprise?
my
Oh,
fiance, Jeff Johnston.
oh,
He is a fabulous guitar player um, and blues guitar player. So he'll come out in the second set and play with us, play some solos. Um, some of the time, to give some of the horn players a little bit of rest, we will do a couple of small group numbers as well to kind of showcase some different things too. So, yeah, it'll be a really, really unique show, I think. Something to please a lot of different musical tastes.
so we've got the Lakeshore Big Band. They're going to be on stage, this full band complement, and then your voice. And then part of it too, you said this guitar. Have you performed with the Lakeshore Big Band before in this way?
Last night at the rehearsal,
Which let's show people this picture. This is so cute. So this is a picture of ERIN, and you can see behind her the Lakeshore Big Band. I mean, that's incredible because, for example, when I saw you perform at Pet Skull Brewing, it was just a small ensemble, right? Maybe four instruments plus your voice, which that seems maybe kind of standard. So what's it like having this whole band?
I love it. I love singing with a big band. When I first started singing, that's how I started singing. I can tell you, can I tell this quick little story of how I started
Yeah,
singing?
sure.
So when I went to college to be a music major, my major was not singing. I was a flute major, and I went to college to be a band director. So I was in the jazz band. I in high school I played alto too in jazz band. I was not singing in front of the jazz band. I was in it. And I wanted to be a band director. That's what my goal in life was. I wanted to do marching band and lead the parade, you know. That was my thing. And that's what I planned to do. And then all was fine. And then all of a sudden, I turned 21 and we started going out and doing karaoke and stuff. And I'd go and do karaoke and people are like, "Oh my goodness," like you can really sing. And I said, "Well, yeah, it's no big deal. Like I've always been able to sing. It's no big deal." And I mean, I was never in choir in high school. I was always in band nerd 100% all the way. And so then this opportunity to sing with the jazz ensemble in college opened up, and I auditioned, but nobody else auditioned, so I won. And all along, I had always been very nervous and struggled with performance anxiety, on flute or piano or whatever I was playing. But when I walked out on stage to sing, the hall was full of people and I had no nerves at all. Because for singing, it just comes out of me. I guess I just do it. And and then I thought, oh boy, there's something's going on here, like why am I not nervous about this? And why does this seem so easy for me? And why are people like all up in arms about this? Like, why are they saying I'm so good at this? I mean, maybe I am good at this, I guess I'm good, but I never thought of being a singer. And then, so then I really was interested in jazz specifically. So then I just started getting into it more and started going to jam sessions and started working with my friends Jazz Orgy, who you saw me with at Pet Skull. And those guys have really been amazing. Guys like Paul Zuckerman have been amazing and kind of just helping school me a little bit in the ways of jazz. I mean, I was brought up in the classical world of you must read music in order to play it. um, and in jazz, well, with big band jazz, the horn players are reading their music. But with, combo jazz, small group jazz, like what you saw at Pet Skull, we are they're reading chord charts and making up everything else, you know.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, and I love this story that you discovered it, that you didn't always know, and that you weren't
Mhm.
even sure once you did discover it. That's cool, and what I wanna do is I wanna play a clip that you shared from rehearsal last night because it really just demonstrates how comfortable you are, right? Like, here you are singing, and yet you're, like, filming at the same time. Let's just take a look at this little clip.
Okay.
Yes, I'm way out of a little girl in midnight, put it in my pocket. She was drunk.
Ah, that's awesome. And we got a little
I, s-
cameo from Paul in the background there.
yep, I still have my coat on because, we just got back from Arizona and so I'm still freezing.
You know what? Let's play another clip too. You did like a pan around of the orchestra. It's just so impressive to see this many talented musicians on stage. So cool. So when you when you started singing, did you start gravitating towards Aretha Franklin, Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James right away? Did you know that that was your niche?
Ella Fitzgerald was right away, because I was taking a class also at that same time called Evolution of Jazz. And I came across this recording of Ella singing Misty, the song Misty, um, with just her and a pianist. And I just kept listening to it like over and over on repeat. And like I thought it was just like the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard in my life. The way she not just, heard the sound of her voice, but her phrasing and the way that she would change the melody. Because how the melody goes, you know, how the real melody of the song goes versus how Ella, would interpret it, and use the lyrics to help her do that. I was like, what is this? Like, I can sing this. I can get on board with this. And so then at first, how I learned to sing, because I was, in the middle of my studies at Oshkosh, and I didn't want to change my major or do anything like that. I was practical. Um, I didn't, and they didn't have a vocal jazz program there. So I just listened and mimicked, and that's how I learned how to do it. So I listened to her, Billie Holiday, Nancy Wilson, Sarah Vaughan, Carmen McRae, and just mimicked them. And I would go through my phases, like I had like the Ella phase and the Billie Holiday phase, and where I would just sound like them all the time. And then eventually, I just developed my own style. And then once I met Jeff, my joke is that when I met Jeff, I started singing the blues. Not because, it makes me sad, but his playing, he is just one heck of a blues guitar player. I mean, he's a fine jazz guitar player and very versatile guitarist, but when he plays the blues, it's really something else. Just the way he plays guitar is just, there's something about it. And obviously we have a connection too. So something, is going on between us. Obviously,
Yeah.
we've been together for 17 years this year. So something's going on, and it's just something happened there. So then I started getting more into blues and R&B. And so then that kind of influenced my style as well. Um, so now you
Okay, so I'm
have
going
what
to
you
put you on
have.
the spot here. You didn't know I was going to ask you this. Can you sing a little something? Can you just give us something? Or is it, you
Something
know,
that
I
I'm
know
going to
you're
sing
not wired up
tomorrow.
or anything. It could be that, or it could be, a little bit of Misty or any song that's on your mind right now.
Let's see. Well, what's on my mind right now? Um, well, I could sing an original song. I could sing something that I wrote.
You write too, right? So you're not just doing covers of other people's work. That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's hear something that you wrote.
Sure. So this is a song that I wrote from my dog's eyes. So I have a dog named Duke, and he is really adorable. His full name is Duke Ellington Krebston. And because I love Duke Ellington. And so this song is called Spread a Little Sunshine. And it starts out with a little scat. It goes, uh, "Shadibididadoo-ay, dadoo-ay, babadoo-doo-ya-doo-da." You got to spread a little sunshine on a cloudy day. It only takes a little for the clouds to melt away. Something just as simple as hello with a smile. That feeling that you feel inside lasts for a while. And so on. It goes on, but
Erin, thank you for doing that. That was incredible. That was so beautiful.
oh,
Wow. I had no
well,
idea. I didn't know
thanks.
if you were just going to turn me down when I asked. So that was cool. What a beautiful song.
Oh, thanks. So that one's gonna be on my next album. So we'll be in the studio in a couple weeks recording. So that will be on there.
Is that
Um,
all original works on that album?
Not all original. I'm actually going to put a few oldies on there because now that some of those songs from the late 20s are becoming public domain, not it's expensive to record them. So there's some Gershwin tunes that are now public domain, and Songs like After You've Gone is public domain. And so I don't know, there's starting to become a lot of songs that I love that are public domain now. So that's
That's
exciting.
awesome. Okay, so let's remind viewers we're talking because tomorrow night there is an opportunity to see ERIN KREBS, award-winning jazz vocalist, perform with the Lakeshore Big Band for their presentation of Great Ladies of Song. This is happening right here on the coolest coast, 7:30 p.m. at the Capitol Civic Center. Like we've been talking about, there'll be songs from Ella Fitzgerald to Etta James, Aretha Franklin, Peggy Lee, and Paul Sucherman is going to be conducting. Paul is also a treasure. I mean, I think he is a local treasure, possibly even a national treasure. What should people know about Paul?
He's just the best. I mean, he's one of my favorite guys to work with. He plays in Chicago a lot. So when we can play with him around here, I've always considered myself to be very lucky. And when COVID happened, obviously for musicians and for everyone, it's really was not fun. But this one silver lining was that all of Paul's Chicago gigs were like canceled for a long time. But Wisconsin was a little more lax than than Chicago was, so he was more available to us, and
Yeah,
we
that
got to
is a
play more
silver
with him more.
lining.
And so, yeah, we just have done so many gigs together, and he's amazing. And he's going to be playing piano and conducting at the same time
Because
tomorrow
of
night.
course he is, because Paul is that talented. So will Paul
Yeah,
be in the studio with you when you record that album? And
he
will
will
Jeff?
be.
Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh. Both of them. And then we'll also have upright bass and drums and then a saxophone on a couple of numbers as well. So
Oh, so
it'll
cool.
be
So
great.
many
I'm
amazing.
excited about it.
I've got one more clip that you shared from rehearsal last night. Let's take a quick look. I'm so sad that the clip ends. I wanted to keep going.
That's one of the songs we'll be doing to Skid a Tasket. Of course, that was like Ella's jumping off point. That's what her tune that made her famous.
Oh,
Ella
I didn't know that.
Fitzgerald.
I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. ERIN, thank you so much for taking the time, like right before this performance date, to come and talk to us and to let viewers know that this is happening. What else do you think somebody should know? They should get their tickets. Tickets are like only $16, I think. Like it's an incredibly reasonable fee to see amazing entertainment, right?
I think that some of them are even less than that, like if you're up in the balcony or for students and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Wendy
Hmm.
said, very talented.
Oh, thank you, Wendy.
Cool. Anything else people need to know?
And yeah, it starts at 7:30, and yeah, come on, come out, tell your friends. Anybody who likes jazz, blues, R&B, you really should come. Don't miss it. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it is going to be the place to be tomorrow night. The Lakeshore Big Band, Great Ladies of Song, Friday, March 31st, 7:30 p.m. at the Capitol Civic Center. I'm just blown away by this level of talent that we have here on the coolest coast. And, you know, I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed that we're able to see you perform with the Lakeshore Big Band tomorrow night.
Well, thank you. I'm excited about it. So thanks so much for having me and giving me a chance to tell people about it.
You bet. I'm going to play one more time the clip where we see you singing, and then we'll sign off after that.
Yes, somewhere I could a little girl in 59, put it in my pocket. She was drunk.
Yeah, you just seem so comfortable. You're totally in your zone there, ERIN.
Yeah, I love singing jazz. So It's my zone for sure.
Nice. So in theater, to actors, we say break a leg before a show. Do you say the same thing to musicians?
Yeah. People say that to us for sure.
Awesome. Break a leg.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks so
you.
much for joining us. Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you soon. And when you've got your album, we should have another conversation and talk about it.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That would be awesome
All
for
right, we'll
sure.
see you again on Coffee on the Coast. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to Just Orthodontics for sponsoring Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host this evening, Tina Prigge. I was joined by ERIN KREBS, award-winning jazz vocalist. You have to check out the Lakeshore Big Band, this collaboration tomorrow night. Thanks everyone.